some female comics I know more about their coochie than I do their jokes.
Can you give me some names? How do you feel about some of these toxic ass niggas in comedy? If you come for women, you're a bitch ass nigga.
I mean, it's public knowledge. Corey Holcomb. Yeah.
Oh, who?
Threats.
What's this?
I'm going to jail. There was a jealousy there.
Pull the tampon out your ass. Come on.
Girl, you better read his gangster link. Pay attention to everything. Walk around town like he the shit.
All right, y'all. What's up? It's your girl Torrei Hart here, and of course, you already know where we at. Brutally honest with Torrei Hart, and today I have an amazing guest on my show, which I'm so happy to have her here. First of all, we've done shows together, we've done movies together, and we're about to do some TV together coming up. I don't want to go into it too much, but we're about to do that too.
Exactly.
She's amazing. She's hilarious. She's doing her thing out here. I mean, you've seen her in a lot of Tyler Perry productions. TV, she's just everywhere. I mean, like, and you doing it. And it's not easy for women out here in this game to do it. And you do it so funny and effortlessly.
Thank you, darling.
So, y'all please welcome my girl, Miss CoCoa Brown.
Hey, girl. All right. Now I'm going to correct you right quick.
Okay.
It's CoCoa.
It's CoCoa?
Yeah, it's always been CoCoa, but people love to say CoCoa, so I just stopped correcting them, honey.
You
I'm
know
just
what?
right on my check.
Listen, all these years that I've known you, I never knew it was CoCoa.
When it was given to me, when the name was given to me,
okay.
Shout out James Bean, wherever you are, brother. He said CoCoa Brown. Okay. I thought it was CoCoa too when I saw it on the napkin that he handed me.
Okay.
He said, no, say it CoCoa Brown. CoCoa Brown. So it rolled on. And I said, okay. And girl, I got so tired of, trying to correct people because of how I spelled it. So I'm like, you know what, just, is my check right?
Okay.
Is the A on my check?
I know that's right. And it's usually right.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's gonna be right now. Absolutely,
okay.
Absolutely. I'm gonna get
okay. So wait. So that's not your birth given name?
No, my birth given name is Sparrow. I wear it around my neck to remind me who I am.
Okay.
Yes.
So now, who gave you the name CoCoa?
A comedian named James Bean.
James Bean.
Yeah, we were in DC. I started comedy in DC. Mm-hmm. I'd been doing comedy maybe a couple of months, and I was going by Farrah Brown, and. He came up to me one day. He said, "You need a stage name. You need something to just grab people." And I said, "Okay." Now, and a couple of weeks later, he handed me a napkin, opened it up, and said, "CoCoa Brown."
And was it because of your skin color?
I guess so. Maybe. Okay. I guess so. I don't know, but I took it. I've been riding it now for 28 years.
Right. I love it. Listen, 28 years she been doing this, y'all.
Yeah.
It is not easy.
No.
Women in comedy, 28 years.
I always say this is probably the most toxic relationship I've ever been in my life.
With comedy?
With the business.
Okay.
Because it's like you're literally trying to get it to love you back.
Now,
constantly.
Why would you say you're trying to get it to love you back?
Because you are.
Okay, but
like when anybody does something in this business,
right?
They can say, I'm doing it for the craft, I'm doing it because it's my passion, but somebody got to love you for it to work.
True. But I think sometimes when we try to force it, that's when it doesn't happen. When we just let it come to us. Have you ever noticed that when you just let it come to you? Or do
I mean, I'm at that point now. I mean, I always say this business found me.
Yeah.
This whole stand-up comedy, everything found me. I was in corporate America. I was trying to be Claire Huxtable.
Okay.
I was trying to wear suits.
Hold on, wait a minute, because Claire Huxtable was an attorney.
And I was working in advertising for Ringling Brothers.
Oh.
I was head of urban marketing.
Okay.
Like I literally was in corporate, know. And a friend of mine asked me to go to a barbecue, met two comedians that owned the comedy club. They said, "You're funny, you should come." Mm-hmm. Wasn't afraid of the stage because I'd been doing theater since I was 10.
Right.
And I got bit by the bug, I guess. Okay. And it kind of fell in my lap where it just kept manifesting and things kept just going. And, I didn't quit my job. My boss fired me. She came to see me at a show and she said, "I'm going to give you your severance.
Right.
And I need you to go after that because that's your true call." And I said, okay. And I went because I'm like, I got a box with my belongings in it. I got to get some money somewhere.
Right.
And it has just been a journey of navigating a business that chose me.
I love that. See, that's why I said, okay, because it's going to choose.
But it's toxic.
It's very toxic. It is. It's very toxic. Just like
beautiful kids come out of toxic marriages.
You're right. You're right about that.
That's a real talk. That's how I look at it right now. I'm just in a very toxic relationship. I call it comedy Ike.
You call comedy Ike? You know what? Okay, so let me say some other stuff about toxic.
Okay.
In comedy. Okay. How do you feel feel about some of these toxic ass niggas in comedy? Can we speak on some of the toxic men that are in comedy right now? Because I'm currently dealing with a few that have been coming for me, and I'm just like...
That means you're doing something right, sugar.
Okay, thank you.
When they don't come for you, when they don't talk about you, then you need to be worried. And that was told to me when I first got in the game by talent. You know,
I love talent. Shout out to talent.
Shout out talent. Love you.
Yeah.
Comedy. I love you.
Because he's not toxic.
No.
He's actually one of the men in this business that aren't toxic.
No. And he protects the females on his show.
He does.
He's a good dude. But he told me when I first got in the game, he said, CoCoa, be worried when they stop talking about you.
Right.
Be worried when they stop coming for you.
Right.
Because that means you're no longer topic of discussion.
Okay.
You know, so obviously you're doing something right, because if you weren't doing what's irritating them,
right,
which is usually nothing but just being funny
and happy y'all niggas is miserable,
and I think a lot of times they hate on anyone in the business who doesn't need it. They hate on anybody that doesn't need it. Some of them out here, you know, are living check to check, right, their entire life savings in their pocket.
But how do they know I don't need it? Why do they just assume?
You're guilty by association. Okay, girl, your last name, damn it.
Okay, but listen. I got divorced 13 almost. What
it don't matter.
Is it 2025?
It don't matter.
What year did I get divorced? I can't even remember because I be blocking shit out.
Right.
But here's the thing. I've been divorced almost 15 years. Mm-hmm. Why people think that I don't need?
Because in their minds, they still think you good because of that last name. I promise you.
Well, I
promise you.
You know what? Here's the thing. I'm blessed.
Association.
I'm always going to be good because you know why I've been good since I was born.
But you were a hustler. When I knew you, when he was first starting out and hustling, and you were like the mastermind, getting the boy where he had to go. I don't know how many times I picked him up from you and dropped him off to you. So, I mean, you know, so you've been a hustler and a businesswoman for as long as I've known you.
Yeah.
So I'm not surprised, but someone who doesn't know that backstory and only sees what they saw when the stuff blew up.
Yeah, when it's so
they don't know any better. They don't know any better.
Right.
Like I said, be worried when they stop hating, Joe.
Okay.
Be worried when they stop talking.
Okay.
That's when you got to go do OnlyFans or something.
Ooh, but OnlyFans, this bitch on OnlyFans making $80 million a year.
You know, I've been thinking about putting my left titty out there because nobody, you know. I've been really thinking about putting this left titty. Is it still firm?
It's still firm. Let me see. It's still working. Yeah, left titty. So listen, I say till I always say, listen, until you can't show the body no more, show it. Okay? Because one day you're gonna be about 80 years old, and then you know what? You still can show it.
That was the hardest thing for me, losing weight, because I still had a fat girl mentality. I still had a big girl mentality. I remember the day I truly realized I could no longer shop in certain stores.
Really?
I walked into a particular big girl store, which I had always shopped in.
Right.
And they know me, and I walked in and they said, babe, you shopping for somebody else?
Right.
And I said, no, I'm going to get some. We all got hot. They said, baby, they make it fit you. She said, we may have a few 10, 12s, but this ain't your store no more. And I said, what? You know, and then I realized when I went try stuff on, I was like, and it was falling off me. I said, I don't know how to be skinny. I don't know how to be small. I'm skinny. Right. But it's funny that, like, for the longest, because I started losing the weight right after I had my son, because I came down with gestational diabetes, and it freaked me out, you know, because I watched diabetes just destroy my dad.
Right.
And so I changed my diet, changed my lifestyle, just went into this whole mode of just, I'm going to lose weight and get it off me and keep it off.
Good for you.
And it's been a journey. It hasn't been overnight. You know, it's been a 10-year journey of losing over 80 pounds.
Right.
And
you look amazing.
Thank you, sis. Yeah. Thank you. I feel good.
You look good.
You know, outside of menopause, I'm good.
Okay. I'm having hot flashes right now. I think I'm in perimenopause.
You? Okay.
No, I promise you. I think I've been having hot flashes all week long. I've been here in Atlanta having hot flashes all week long. It's freezing in here. And today, when I want to have a hot flash,
it's not.
Okay, there's no hot flash to happen.
Yep, exactly. So you never know what's going to happen. Hot flashes don't bother me much, but the mood swings, baby.
Oh, okay.
I tell people all the time, honey, I'm like a certain comedian. You don't know who I'm gonna be that day.
Okay. I ain't never experienced your mood swings. You're always pleasant and happy.
I know how to control it. I know how to control it, but in my four walls, you know, pray for my child. Because he think mama tripolar.
Okay. But that makes for great comedy.
And
that's why you're so fucking
Because he's learned how to
funny.
handle me, girl.
Yeah.
He be ignoring the hell out of me.
Like, oh, mama just having one of them goddamn classes. Yeah.
She be out in 10 minutes. But, you know.
Right.
But no, you know, it's like, you know, when you have to change your mindset. But, you know, if I could truly show you the knives I've pulled out of my back in this business, I could literally start a whole business selling knives.
Damn.
You know, and most of them were held by people I would have took a bullet for.
Are you serious?
Seriously.
Okay, why? What do you think it is? Is because you started passing them? Is that what happened?
Maybe. I mean, honestly, the only few that I know, there was a jealousy there. There was a resentment there that they felt I should take them with me as far as I go. But sometimes certain things and people become dead weight, and you can't rise when you're trying to grab somebody who ain't trying to grow with you.
Right. Can you give me some names?
No. I ain't messy like that, girl.
Okay.
Catch me when this menopause finished.
Okay. I thought one of your personalities might have came out. One of the personalities that like to tell business.
Because they know who they are.
Right.
Because now they can't say jack to me. Yeah. And I'm cordial.
Right.
But I'll look right through you.
Right.
Because once you show me your card.
Yeah.
Once you show me who you are, you ain't got to show me. I used to be that one that gives somebody 1,001 chances. No more, baby. You got one shot.
Right.
One shot. I swear you got one shot. There's too many people in the world.
Yeah. I'm
not going to sit here and stay stuck on stupid, forgiving somebody who keeps stabbing me at my back and betraying me and being deceitful. So, no, you got one shot. I'm like that across the board.
Right.
You know, I tell my son, honey, we don't do excuses in this house. It's either apology or accountability.
Facts. I love that. Period. Yeah. Apology or accountability.
Period.
Yeah.
We don't do excuses.
Okay. Love that.
Yeah.
How is it for you being a female in the game? Because I've noticed, you know, coming up in the game, I don't really have a lot of female comedian friends in the game.
I didn't get them until I was probably 15 years.
Okay.
Honest to God.
Why do you think that is? Like, why can't us as female comedians have that camaraderie? And now, see, I'm gonna let you answer that before I keep going.
Well, no, I just think that, you know, as women, we are put in competition with each other all the time. That starts when we're this big.
Right.
You know, oh, look at her hair, look at her dress, or look at this, or look at that. So it trickles over, and then just like with, you can always tell a male comic who ain't never had nothing, because when they get something, they act a fool.
Right.
And that's with anybody, that they're not used to nice things or, you know, knowing how to conduct themselves in certain, you know, arenas or places, or someone that just can't turn off the ghetto or turn off the ignorant or turn off the, you know, they don't see that you talking proper with some etiquette and sense is talking white, or, you know, you can always tell.
Right.
Just by how someone reacts when they are given the brass ring to some degree.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They are taken to that level. They can see over the fence. But honestly, as women, it just is what it is. I mean, there's just that instant jealousy, envy, cattiness that we see whether we're in the business or not. We dealt with it in middle school, elementary school, high school, college, whatever. But for me, I know it was a competition thing. You know, here comes another new broad. Right. That's going to be the flavor of the month. Now, does she sustain and get where I am? Or does she crash and burn? And that's what I think they're waiting for.
Or did she fuck how many?
Well, crash and burn.
How many men is
crash
she
and burn.
sitting on her dick to get to the next level?
Well, there are some female comics I know more about their coochie than I do their jokes.
Oh.
Because once you become that...
Can you name a few?
No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. I'm not messy, Tori. I'm not messy.
I'm not trying to make you messy.
Because I have a very sweet spot in my career right now.
Right.
First, I was little sis. Then I was big sis, but now I'm auntie. Which means everything is discussed in front of me. They don't leave the room when they talk.
Oh, I can't wait till I'm auntie shit.
So they don't leave the room when they start talking shit.
Okay.
So I get privy to a lot of crap that people don't know I know.
Okay.
And I just keep it right here. You know, keep it right here.
Okay.
But there's some that and I've come across a few of them, and I try to give them a little advice, but I've also realized that usually that advice is not welcome.
Yeah, because you know what? They don't want to hear it, and they figure out, whatever, girl. You know, like, let me do what I'm doing.
Right, and if it works for you, and I ain't judging you. Right. It works for you to suck and fuck your way up, go right ahead.
Yeah.
You know, I just know for me that my knees are still the same color as they were when I got in this business.
Okay.
That's just do you.
That means you use pillows when you...
No, I do it laying down.
I'm fucking with you, CoCoa. Okay, no, because I mean, I know, I get it, I get it a lot, like people thinking, I use the Hart name to get on. And I'm just like, you know what? It's my name. I can't, what else am I going to do?
You the Tina Turner, and I ain't mad at you.
But here's the thing, it's like, what else am I
Did he say it got my daddy blood on it when you kept it?
He didn't want me to change it.
Oh, okay, good.
That's the funny thing, is everybody else that be saying shit, this nigga don't want me to change it.
Good. That's great.
You know what I mean? So I hear it all the time, and I'm like, here's the thing, I can have a name, but if I'm not funny on that stage, it don't matter what the hell my name is.
It don't matter.
If I'm up there for 20 minutes bombing, who gives a shit what the name is?
Yeah.
And that's what I try to get people to understand.
Yeah.
It doesn't fucking matter.
I mean, if anybody knows that, it's the Wayans family.
Right.
That last name don't secure you a spot.
And they won't let
that
you.
Rock name does not secure you a spot.
At all.
So it's like you have to still earn your stripes.
It's harder sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a bar that you have to get to.
Exactly.
So I can imagine what that's like.
Yeah. Sometimes I hate it, but
girl, you use it to your advantage, girl. At least he ain't, try to take you to court or say my daddy blood on him.
Yeah. Did you? Okay. Yeah. I ain't going to know.
He hit you with the anime book.
Okay, so let's dive into something else, okay? And I know this is something that you have been saying that you really don't want to go into so much, but we do have to talk about your ex for a little bit.
Oh God.
Okay?
Yeah.
I know, because we have to.
I know you get tired of getting asked the questions.
I do, but as women that are in the business, we get approached by niggas a lot that we don't know what their intentions are.
Oh God!
So we people need to hear this, because sometimes people come up in there, they are that wolf in sheep's clothing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I always say some of the best actors ain't in Hollywood, honey. They're laying next to you.
They yes.
Yeah.
They in the street. You can't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So your ex-husband.
Yeah.
How is that you're dealing with that right now?
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not. I haven't seen or spoke to him in almost 7 years.
7 years. Okay.
So I don't.
Right.
I don't. I put flowers on that grave, babe.
But when you first met him,
knight in shining armor, swept me off my feet.
Because I remember you were posting about it.
Yep.
And I was super happy for you, because when you find love, at least when you think you finding true love, you know what I mean? That's what you want. That's what us as women, especially in the industry, we want. We want that true love. We want that companionship. Yeah. And so you thought you had that companionship with him.
I had a protector.
Right.
I felt protected with him.
Right.
I felt like no one could harm me anymore.
Okay.
With him.
Right.
That's what won me over. He protected me.
So now, did you have any red flags with him?
Absolutely. I'd be lying if I didn't. If I said
you have red flags.
Absolutely. The control started early, and I didn't.
Did you think it was sexy?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought he was claiming his woman.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He was claiming his woman, not realizing that was a level of control.
Okay. Women, when a man's trying to control you, I know sometimes we think it's sexy, okay? Or maybe in the bedroom. But outside the bedroom, if he's trying to have access to you, know your location, want to get his name tattooed on you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, all that other stuff. You can't talk to your kids.
Now that's crazy. I was propositioned though by a guy.
Okay.
That wanted to be my, sugar daddy. And he told me that whenever he came into town, he wanted me to drop everything and come to him. And I said, baby, I got a kid. He said, we better figure out what to do with that kid. I said, I don't know who lied to you and told you I was struggling, but I'm good. And this was a big time person.
Like a famous person?
Well, attached to a very famous person, but people know him. Okay. And I was just like, what? Because we were laughing and joking, then it got serious, and then he was making these propositions, and then when he said that, I said, so there's women out here just dropping their kids.
Oh, every day.
To go take care of some grown, okay.
Because they're getting their Birkin bags, they're getting,
I can buy my own shit out in 3.
Right. See? Listen, I don't own one, but I'm still not going to drop anything for my kids. I wish somebody would be like, you know what?
I got Hermes and Herman, honey. Yeah. I'm good.
Look, I have a Goyard. That's probably the most expensive bag that I own. I will say, because I always said I'm not going to buy a Birkin. I'm waiting for that man to buy me a Birkin. Right. But I just, I don't. So maybe one day.
One day.
But you got 3. Yeah.
And mind you, I didn't buy one.
Right.
I bought one.
Yeah.
And then.
But the fact that you
one's
can.
a Herman.
I don't even know what a Herman.
But it's not Hermes. It's Herman.
It's Herman. Okay.
Because it looked just like a Herman.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's a real potato, but it's a Herman.
Okay.
Yeah, Herman.
Okay.
But no, I just I had to forgive him, which I did quickly.
Right.
Because I had to focus on raising my child. Mm-hmm. The hard part was forgiving me, because I did ignore the red flags, and I had to admit to myself that I was desperate, in the sense of I just wanted to get married. I just wanted to have a baby.
Okay.
I just wanted to be a wife. I just wanted to be a mother.
Right.
That I ignored major red flags to get to that point.
Well, you have your son.
Yeah, absolutely. Best thing ever came out of it.
So, ignoring those red flags actually was a good thing.
Oh, absolutely.
In hindsight.
In hindsight, because God, the one thing I always wanted was a little boy. I always wanted a little boy. Mm-hmm. Got my little boy.
Yeah.
Now did I get the ideal, white picket fence and all that? No. But I'm hopefully exposing him to traditional families, that he sees how it's supposed to be, even though we are different.
Right.
If you choose to be a husband one day, that's how it's supposed to look.
Okay.
Yeah. So I make sure that I show him families I admire. Okay. So he sees what it looks like.
Yeah. So how are you now? Are you dating?
No.
No?
Absolutely not.
No date? Nothing?
I ain't say all that. It just may not be attached to nobody.
Wait, so you not seeing nobody? You just, you celibate? Mm-hmm. Really? For how long?
I broke up with him July. So June, July.
Okay, of 2024.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you were seeing somebody.
I was in a relationship. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how long was that relationship?
That lasted about 5 months. 5 months, and it was somebody I had dated before.
Oh, okay.
And we reconnected. Absolutely.
Somebody in the business?
Absolutely
No. Okay.
not. Tried that.
Yeah.
One of the worst experiences of my life, because it literally became like being in the ring with Tyson. It was a constant fight and battle for who was doing better.
Really?
And I was like, what? I'm not competing with you.
Right.
Why are you acting like this? And then when I would, win or get something, it would be a constant, that ain't all, that kind of attitude. But if I didn't jump through hoops and scream and throw a party when they got something, I'm not support. I have no desire. It would have to take. I'm at the point in my life that peace is so wonderful.
Right.
And I see what's out there. I tell people all the time, when you choose them, honey, I have literally, and the common denominator is me. Absolutely. I can tell you my flaws. I can tell you where I screwed up. What I don't do is sit around and blame a man when I break up with him.
Right.
I know what he did wrong, but then I go into what I did wrong. Or, even with my ex-husband, I had to admit that even though what he did was jacked up, I sat there and let myself go on this journey because I had tunnel vision, because I wanted to be a wife and a mother.
Now, when you say your ex-husband, what he did, what exactly did he do?
He married me while he was still married to somebody else. And he lied. I was his 4th marriage, not his 2nd.
Wait. He said you were his 4th?
No, 2nd.
Okay.
But
he was still married.
To wife number 2. Wife number 2, was it 2 or 3? 3. He was still married to wife number 3. When he married me.
Okay, where was his family?
There.
And they knew this, and they didn't say anything?
No.
Okay, so they basically were looking at you like a cash cow.
My friend says that she heard one of his family members say at my wedding, "We all about to come up off this bitch."
Wow, we all about to come up off this bitch?
And when my friend said, she was like, "What did you say?" She kind of like, nothing, and ran off. But she swears up and down that's what she heard at my wedding. But she didn't tell me that until after we split up.
Why wouldn't she tell you at the wedding?
She says, when you see your friend happy.
No, that's not. If I hear that, listen, if you ever hear some nigga, and they family.
I was mad at her. Don't get me wrong. I was extremely mad at her that she didn't say anything. But then she was feeling like she wasn't sure if she heard it. Like she thought maybe she was tripping. She just didn't want to believe that's what she heard.
Right.
And then she said when everything began to come out about him, that's when she said, "Oh my God, I did hear that."
Right.
And that's what she told me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's scary. Because it is like when you're in the spotlight and you're trying to date, you don't know who's dating you for you or if they're dating you for if they think they're about to come up off this bitch.
I don't want to play the game no more, Tori. I don't want to go through what's your favorite color.
Yeah.
I don't want to go. I'm tired.
Right.
And I'm thoroughly convinced that what is left is the undiagnosed sociopaths. That we have a lot of adults who have been traumatized at some point in their childhood, adolescence, whatever, that never got fixed.
Right.
I ain't no psychiatrist. I ain't no psychologist. I am not here to be your punching board because you don't want to deal with your demons.
Right.
And I think that's what's left. Anybody that's married right now, that's surviving and thriving in their marriage, is someone that probably chose to deal with their trauma, handle their trauma. What is left is those that are running from it.
Right.
And that's just been proven too many times. And like I said, I've dated everything from a doctor to a drug dealer.
What do you like better?
Well, the drug dealers aren't intimidated by me.
Really? Because the comedy?
Just period. I don't know. I have a strong personality, but one of the best relationships I had was with a dude that moved weight. Because I was his prize, and he let me know I got an educated bitch.
I love a drug dealer.
But and it just as I was rising, but I was also young and stupid. You know, but I would never do that now. And then the educated brothers I dated, or the brothers that seem like they look good on paper.
Right.
Oh, child, they the worst. As soon as I get recognized, oh, so you all that, huh? What? They go come to the table and ask for a picture. You all that. Oh, I went on one date with one dude, honey. He was like, oh, so I'm here with Beyonce because the waiter recognized us, told the chef. The chef began to send out special items. The chef came out, introduced that he was a huge fan of 911.
Right.
You know, compensated us a bottle of wine, appetizers, everything, right? Do you know that man, when the date was over, got in his Uber and just left me standing there, and I had to get the valet boy to walk me to my car? And he gonna call me an hour later.
You work?
Oh, he was like, oh, so I'm out here with Beyonce. Oh, you somebody. Ooh. And I remember, the ballet boy was straight up Atlanta boy, full of mouth gold teeth. Yo, Milady, he didn't left you out here. Milady, he didn't eat. Wait a minute, that's your name, Milady. Let me walk you call me Milady. That meant up, Milady, And I'm just like, I said, yeah, he left me. I'm feeling stupid. But the young dude, the full of gold teeth, had enough more gentleman in him.
Yeah.
And this educated Brooks brother, super.
Because he's used to being the man that gets all the attention.
Oh, yes, honey. And those are the ones, too. When that spotlight, they claim they don't care about the spotlight. They don't care about the fame. But when that spotlight hits me and not them, oh, honey, all that little male ego shrivels and that pride kicks in and they got to now attack. It's terrible. I mean, I'm 52 years old. I've seen enough to know what's out there.
Right.
And I choose not to play.
So you're just good, but you...
I'm going to be rich auntie. I got a aunt that's 72 years old.
But you out here going, you got this new body, okay?
And they don't appreciate it.
Okay, listen.
I don't want to give my body to nobody else.
I'm just saying.
I'm done.
All right, you did all of that work.
Yeah.
So you
me.
Okay, that's
for me.
I know it's for you, but come on.
I don't have it in me, Tori. I feel like
right now. You feel like that right now.
No, I'm serious. I'm so serious. I told my ex when we first started with the guy that I just finished seeing. I said, "Look, I'm at the place in my life that if this don't work out, I'm done. I'm so done. I'm like I can't do this no more." He said, "No, this for the long haul." And then what he do? Flip out, turn crazy, cuckoo for cat shit.
Right.
And I left. We split, and I was done. And I mean, when I say it was like a button is hitting me, and I'm done. And like I said, and everybody's like, oh, don't give up. But I don't have it in me right now. And I feel like with what I've been through since my ex-husband, I really thought I was going to meet somebody better. But I'm realizing it's so many damaged people out there that refuse to deal with their trauma, and they want to inflict it on somebody. They have no accountability. They have no compassion, no empathy. These men out here want women to be perfect. You step outside of a box one time, you cut, you're done. I don't need this. Dang, all I do was buy the wrong Twinkie. It's like, that's a problem. Like, I can't do it. And I feel like, this is real talk, if I get hurt again, I'm going to jail.
Okay.
I'm going to jail. Okay. So I am choosing to stay free.
Okay.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Because I just can't do it.
Okay.
I can't do it. I can't. It's too much. I'm a firm believer that if most people got fixed when they was kids, we wouldn't have so many jacked up adults now.
Right. And now I remember you were telling me before that you're going back to school for psychology, right?
I'm going to be a child psychologist.
Okay.
I feel like if you can fix them when they're young,
right,
you wouldn't have so many traumatized, jacked up adults. Because that's all it is.
Yeah.
When you start dealing with your trauma and you start fixing yourself and you do that shadow work, your eyesight becomes like insane where you can see the trauma on somebody.
Right.
I saw the trauma on the last dude I dated, but
you thought you could fix it?
No.
Oh, okay.
I could support him fixing himself.
Okay.
Because he was going to therapy and all that. But then he decided to stop going to therapy and went to a tailspin of being cuckoo. And I'm like, no, I didn't sign up for this, no.
But you saw it. But see, that's why I say. So that's why I
saw
say.
It. And before I would have been blind.
Oh, you said,
but when you do that shadow work and that inner work, and you really start healing yourself and dealing with your own traumas, and you come out on the other side of that, you begin to see people's traumas like the clothes on their body.
Facts.
And
now, can you tell people, because there's a lot of people who don't know what shadow work is, can you explain what shadow work is?
To me, shadow work is when you really isolate and go into a place where you are dissecting your ever-loving soul. Your mind, your heart, your spirit. You are pulling everything out of you and you are literally going through it like some Scrabble letters. And you're seeing, ooh, I'm fucked up right there. Ooh, and you are really spiritually purging.
Right.
You are letting go of every preconceived notion. You are acknowledging every fuck up in your life that you did on your part. You are acknowledging every person that did you dirty. You are dealing with every betrayal. You are literally spiritually, emotionally, and mentally purging.
Right.
And when you're done, you are drained. If you truly do that shadow work, if you truly turn yourself inside out and dump out the contents, like taking a purse and dumping the contents and going through every single thing. And it's a process. You don't stop doing it. It's an ongoing process. It just gets less and less shit in your purse.
Yeah. You know what I did to purge? I went on an ayahuasca retreat. Have you ever heard of ayahuasca?
I've heard of that.
Okay. I went on an ayahuasca retreat.
Okay.
I did it in Hidden Hills out in LA.
Okay.
And for people who don't know, ayahuasca is from a plant and it's a tea and it's from Peru. So most of the times people go to Peru and they go on this journey. You go to Peru, you take the plant. I couldn't get to Peru, so I did it over in Hidden Hills and had the shaman come to Hidden Hills.
I got a cleansing.
Okay, so it was like 50 of us. And for the retreat for the weekend, I took the tea. I took it Friday, I took it Saturday, and when I tell you I purged, some people vomit for hours when they're purging. I didn't vomit at all I did was laugh. And that's how I knew. I was just like, I'm comedy, that's my, because I just couldn't stop laughing. Like I would look at people purging and seeing them throwing up. It was some people that were, I hate to be vulgar, but shitting. And I'm just loud, like I just keep shitting on himself, you know. It's just the stuff that I saw from people purging. So one man wrote a book, and literally he wrote a 200-page book in 6 hours.
Just getting out.
Getting it out. So that's what I did. So I did the shadow work. That was me, part of.
If anybody wants to know what that looks like, if you saw that series that came out about the best man and what they did in that island.
Oh, right. Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
If you want to know what she's talking about, that's.
But it was even deeper than that.
Oh yeah. Have you seen the one where they do that pressure point massage, and when they hit certain trauma points on your body, I went through that. I did that.
Okay.
And when she hit those certain pressure points, I began to shake uncontrollably.
Really?
She said at one point I was talking like a little girl, like I was talking to myself as a child.
Right.
And talking to her and apologizing to her. It was, but you know.
Where can I get this at?
I did this in Peachtree City.
Really? Right here?
I know a chick, she's bad.
Oh.
She's bad.
CoCoa, I need that.
She's bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try
it. It's a process.
Okay.
It ain't one day.
Yeah.
It ain't one day. But it was an amazing process that I have my moments where that old me slips out a bit. You know, the snapping and the flipping and the whatever. But then I'm able to reel her in before she goes too far. Yeah. Before I couldn't reel her in. It was 0 to 80 and I stayed on 80.
Right.
But now I go 0 to 80 up and I come back and say 35, 35, 35. You know, I can reel her in now. You know.
I can't even be, like, honestly, if I see certain levels of anger or, you know, because I actually, to yesterday, because I heard this comedian was talking shit about me, and it's a male.
Are they bigger than you?
It's a man.
Are they bigger than you?
No, but he's got his own following. But I was just like, I was confused because I used to cook for this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like when he would come and visit me and Kevin, and you know when we first moved up, I was like, you used to come to my house and I would cook full meals for you.
Why do I think?
You know what I'm saying? And I'm so it baffled me that.
Was I there once? When y'all first got married?
I don't think, not when he's been there, because he would come play video games and shit, and so you know, I'm just like, why does he keep my name in his mouth? It's very baffling to me and confusing. So I flipped out. My boy acting up just here. My boy, I was like, yo, I'm about to go eat. I got to get this nigga back. You know, I was ready to pick my phone up and start talking to the phone, which I still don't to this day. Like, understand why people be, yeah, motherfucker, like, you know, and I have his number in my phone, but that's what I wanted to do, talk to the phone, you know, like, and then hit send, and, you know, so I was all hype. And then I had to calm myself down, because that's what I would have did, you know, 5 years ago. And now, like you say, I've done the work.
I always look at the big picture. I had a very well-known comedian come for me a few years ago, and it came so out of nowhere. We had just worked together. Right. We were writing together. He had some tags for me. He reached out to my agent to get the tags for me. And then out of nowhere, he just came for my throat, came for my child, just was on one. And I'm just like, and I'm trying to reach out like, dude, what did I do? What did I do?
You booked another job?
No, let me tell you what happened. It all came out how God revealed stuff to you. Another female comic who got accused of taking one of my jokes. I didn't know this. When she got accused of that, she flipped out and said, well, so-and-so be taking your jokes.
Right.
Me.
Okay.
And this comic, instead of calling me after you just saw me, we worked together, instead of calling me saying, yo, what's up? Instead, took her word and went on this rampage. And then when it came out she lied, they apologized to me, but it would have been nice had you done it publicly.
Right.
Because you raked me across the coals.
Wait, said went on rants about you out in the public?
Girl, like, Twitter's where we had Twitter. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I had threats.
What's this?
I mean, it's public knowledge, Corey Holcomb. But we good now. Me and Corey good now. We good now. We cool. We cool. We cool. What? We good. He apologized, we good. Is that okay for you? Oh, that's a rite of passage, baby. I tell comes all the time, till Corey come for your head, honey, you ain't nobody.
I'm somebody.
It's a rite of passage. When Corey come for your head, that's a rite of passage, baby. You good, sis, you good. He came for your head, you good. It's a rite of passage.
I guess he listened to somebody else too.
Baby, but I'm telling you, like, I found the root of it because I couldn't understand why.
So you was confused,
but it took me 3 years to find out where that came from.
Okay.
And it happened so crazy that it was revealed to me in a way that this person literally came up to me at a show 3 years later. This shit's over. We moved on, and tapped me on my shoulder out of nowhere and said, "You know, I ain't gonna do with that Corey stuff, right?" Now, why is the first thing out your mouth? The female
comedian?
Yeah, why is that out your mouth? That's the first thing out your mouth.
Now, wait, who's the female comedian?
I ain't even gonna get that bitch the little day.
Okay.
But I was just like, and I'm sitting there with two other comedians, and as soon as she walked away after doing that, she didn't say, hi, how's your kid, nothing. It's like, beef you have with somebody.
Right.
And I come to you 3 years later, hey, Torrei, I ain't gonna do with that, you know, right? That's the first thing out of my mouth.
Right.
And that was 3 years ago. As soon as she walked away, the comics I was with was like, they knew about the situation. They was like, did she just tell herself? And we was like, I think so.
Right.
So one of the other comics said, I'm gonna find out. And they did. And they did. And that's what got back to me.
Well, I can say to you, CoCoa, I've loved you since day one.
Well, thank you.
Never had one bad thing to say about you. Always rooting for you. Like, even when I was telling Man about you, Man Robinson, and just like, I love CoCoa. She's hilarious. Love seeing you win.
Thank you. And you too, sis.
Thank you.
I mean, even the ones who have thrown a knife in my mouth, I don't hate anyone.
Right.
You know, I may deeply have a deep disdain for you.
Right.
And I can only tolerate you to a certain degree because I'm always going to be classy.
Yeah.
That's one thing about me. I tell people all the time, baby, don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not ghetto.
Yeah.
I grew up in the suburbs in a 2-parent household and went to Jack and Jill. I am bougie as shit.
Come on, Jack and Jill.
But, you know, I can act really good. Because people believe I'm Jennifer, for better or worse. They believe I'm that chick. And I'm like, okay, that means I'm a good actress.
No, you're an excellent actress, not a good actress.
Well, thank you, girl.
Excellent actress. Yeah.
Thank you. And it's funny because I'm in those roles now. I'm laughing because I said, oh my God, I'm playing Loretta Devines and Jennifer Lewis is now. I'm the auntie. But I love it.
I mean, it's fun.
But I love it. I love it because I have such incredible shoes to follow in, with them.
Right.
Those are, they're on my wall.
Yeah.
Like, when I say like the vision board, they're on my wall. Have always been on my wall. And I love them dearly, and they've both been so open and forthcoming with wisdom and advice when I've been in their presence. And that's a lot. Angela and Isabel Calloway, Lynn Whitfield. I mean, these women have like poured into me in the times I've been around them, and I'm so grateful for that. But no, girl, don't get worked up about that.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
done.
It's a rite of passage.
Yeah.
You asked, you're cherry busted, baby.
Yeah.
You in the group now.
I'm good. I'm
Until he comes for you ain't nobody.
I was just like, but it was like, because before he did it, when I went on tour with Kat, and I'm like,
dude, I had just worked with him.
I said, bro.
I had just worked with him. He saw my set, was like, yo, I got some tags for you, sis. Get at me. And then like a week later, fuck this bitch. She's stealing jokes. And I'm like, huh?
But why does he always come for women though, and not men? Why do you think he?
No, I didn't see him come for some men. No, I didn't see him come for a couple of dudes. I didn't see him come for some dudes.
I see always women. I'm just like, bro.
Maybe that's the clips they show, but I done definitely seen him chop some heads with men too.
Cause I just think if you come for women, you're a bitch ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm not saying him, but we are a sassy nigga.
Pull the tampon out your ass. You know what I'm saying?
We're a sassy man apocalypse right now.
Like no, just
it's bitching the Heineken. But
I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. You'd have to ask him. Because honestly, I mean, no disrespect, I don't follow the show.
Yeah.
I don't. Because I said, once you show me who you are.
Right.
I'm cordial with you. I mean, he came to my face in my dressing room in the show and apologized to me in front of other people. And I said, dude, we good. I just want you to know that I didn't do that shit.
Yeah.
They got a joke in my set that resembles yours.
Yeah.
So that's what you know.
He's like, talking about abortions.
It's good. It's good. So, I mean, I appreciate the apology. It would have been nice had it been public because you raked me across the coals in public.
Right.
But I take my private apology and I move on because I'd already moved on.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it, because it didn't, it had me threatened a few times when I went to Chicago.
Right. I'm going to Chicago Sunday.
I had a dude when that shit first came out straight threatened my life if I stepped foot in Chicago because of that. I had to have straight GDs in the audience at my show.
Gangsta Disciples.
I had to call them up with Malachi and said, I think I need your crew to pull.
Right.
And I literally had GDs in the crowd when I was doing riddles because of that threat.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mary, Lizzie, love you to pieces. But it's just, it's just crazy that, I have my way of handling the haters. Everybody's different. But the big thing that, another piece of advice that was given to me, when somebody comes for you, compare resumes.
Okay.
Compare work.
Yeah.
Is it somebody bigger than you? Mm-hmm. Or is it somebody less than you?
I mean,
is it somebody equal than you?
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like, do you need to clear your name with this person?
Right.
Do you need to set the record straight? I had a lot of people coming to my, my defense, who was coming, and whatever. And that's been, and I fight my own battles, but I fight them my own way.
Right.
I was more hurt than anything.
Very hurt.
But, because I thought it was good, But then again, I also understand this business. Many of people have been thrown under a bus to sustain someone else's footing. Mm-hmm. That's been happening since the beginning of time.
Right.
It was just my turn.
Okay.
It was just my turn, and now it's yours.
Yeah.
But it's a rite of passage.
Okay.
Until he says your name on some bullshit, you ain't nobody. He ain't talk about nobody ain't doing that.
Right.
Let's keep it 100.
Okay.
He ain't talk about nobody ain't doing that. So look at the bigger picture.
Yeah.
You just now.
Okay.
Part of the frat.
Okay. Now, real quick before we get out of here, I just want to settle a few things with you. Okay. Stand-up comedy versus acting. If you could only do one for the rest of your life, which one would you pick?
God, that's tough. Oh, right now, in this place in my life, I would say acting. Because stand-up comedy is fleeting. The minute you say goodnight off that stage, unless you are running to Instagram and posting 15 videos that said it's forgotten before you get in the car. Acting is forever. My great-great-grandkids are going to get a check from 911.
Right. I love that for you. Yes.
So, yeah.
And don't you hate that everybody's posting stand-up? This is just my opinion on it, because I feel like stand-up, it's a live art form.
Yeah.
And now that everybody's posting it online, it's like I don't post my sets online. And
I just started giving them snippets.
My people are telling me, Tori, you have to post online. But I'm like, but it's a live art form.
Not anymore.
Okay.
You gotta stand, like, I know when I look in my audience, who comes to see me are those diehard. My audience is aunties and uncles. Right. I know who my audience is. Right. And those who have been following me since Showtime at the Apollo.
Right.
Like, they die hard, you know, and maybe their friends and their kids maybe. But when I look at my audience, I see my tribe. I see my people. I know those people, I still have to reach out to them grassroots-wise. You know, I gotta send an email, or I've gotta, you know, I post on social media, but I've gotta make sure that, you know, Facebook is where the aunties and uncles are.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, let's keep it real. I do Instagram and TikTok, but that's not my tribe.
Right.
You know, now let me take that back. It's becoming my tribe, but it's becoming because I've become this auntie.
Okay.
And like, it's so funny because my opening comic, shout out to Big Vino, but he always says you're like the Iyanla Van Zandt of comedy.
Yeah.
He said, because after every show, it never fails. You're out there trying to sell your merch, and some chick want to come and tell you her whole damn life story.
Right.
And now you in the corner speaking life into it. She's
fixing her life. Right.
You hugging her face, baby. You gonna be all right. She said, I swear you're like the Iyanla Van Zandt of comedy. And so I know that that's a different market, but they're not coming for me for comedy. They're coming to get to auntie.
Yeah. Okay.
They want some auntie bites. They want an auntie hug. They're not coming to see my show.
Right.
They feel like I'm auntie or mother in their head. So I know it's a different reason they're in that audience when they're that age.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. People say that comedians are some of the most emotional people behind the scenes. Do you agree with that?
Yes, but I would say more so tormented.
Okay.
You have to be a strange individual to be able to laugh at yourself constantly. I'm just saying. Most comedians are we are dealing with our traumas,
right,
and our demons on that stage,
right.
Like, even when you look at someone who's telling jokes about abortions, that's coming from a real place.
Yes, it's very traumatic.
Maybe that's their way of asking, like, oh Lord, I done killed how many kids?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, most comics I know are tortured souls.
Right.
That have had some level of trauma, whether it's child, adolescent, young adult, or right presently now. And comedy becomes this vessel of being able to purge it, and no one will take you too seriously.
Okay.
Or judge you as per se. I've been able to get through, you know, divorces and betrayals and hurt, unimaginable death of my parents, everything, by being able to go on stage and talk about it.
Right.
And because luckily I've been given a gift of timing and delivery, it looks like a joke.
Yeah.
But there are times I purge. I tell people all the time, the reason I'm still in comedy right now has nothing to do with pick me. I've been picked. I go on that stage for therapy.
Therapy, right.
That's how I keep myself sane.
Yeah.
To get that shit out of me.
Okay.
It just happens to be funny because I know what I'm doing.
Because you were picked.
Exactly.
Chosen.
I'm chosen already.
Yeah.
You know, my great-great-grandkids get the check. I'm good.
Now, real quick, before we get out of here, is there something that you can tell the people, the audience, people that are listening, that would help them the way you've healed? Because I know you've been through a process of healing. What's one thing that has helped you heal and get through the deaths of both of your parents, the dealing with your ex-husband who was doing what he did to you? And
don't be afraid of the isolation.
Okay.
Use it. Use that isolation to listen to yourself. Forgive yourself. You only get maybe a good 30, 60 days to beat yourself up about something.
30 to 60 days.
Yeah. After that, you gotta let it go.
Yeah.
You gotta forgive yourself.
Right.
Forgiving others is easy. If you've forgiven others and you still feel tormented, it's time to isolate and forgive yourself.
Y'all heard that. 30 to 60 days.
Seriously.
Okay, this is Brutally Honest with Torrei Hart. This is Miss CoCoa Brown. CoCoa! It's CoCoa Brown, not CoCo.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank
CoCoa
you.
Brown.
Just make sure that A on there here, because
Right.
otherwise it's going to be a porn star. All right.
Do how to sound porn stars.
It is a porn star named CoCoa Brown.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why I said please add the A.
Oh, well, you definitely got to get OnlyFans.
Okay.
Or maybe not.
No.
Okay. All right, y'all. Till next time, I'm Torrei Hart.
Pop girl. Okay.
Damn.
Girl, you knew that. Girl, you knew that. Girl, you knew that. Girl, you better read his gangster lean. Pay attention to everything. Walk around town like he the shit, but behind closed doors.